If you work at a screen, the promise is irresistible. Stand up for 60 seconds, reset your brain, and return more productive. The best public meta-analysis gives a more interesting answer. Micro breaks, brief pauses of 10 minutes or less, did improve vigor and reduce fatigue by small amounts across studies. But the pooled improvement in overall performance was not statistically significant. That means the break can be valuable even when it does not make every spreadsheet, essay, or code review faster. Recovery and output are related, but they are not the same outcome. The meta-analysis combined 22 independent samples involving 2,335 participants. Researchers compared break conditions with continued work and grouped outcomes into vigor, fatigue, and performance. The average effect was about 0.36 standardized units for vigor and 0.35 for fatigue, small, statistically significant improvements. The performance estimate was 0.16 and crossed the no-effect line. In plain language, participants tended to feel more energized and less tired, while the evidence did not show a reliable overall productivity gain across all the different tasks. The chart makes the asymmetry easy to see. Vigor and fatigue have similar small pooled effects, while performance is smaller and uncertain. That does not mean breaks never help performance. Subgroup analysis found benefits for tasks with lower cognitive demand, and longer breaks were associated with a larger performance boost. The authors suggested that highly depleting work may require more than a microbreak. A minute of standing can interrupt strain. It cannot necessarily restore everything consumed by an hour of intense reasoning or emotionally difficult work. A separate systematic review looked specifically at doctors. Some surgical studies reported that 20-second pauses, or breaks of roughly 1.5 to 2 minutes, improved discomfort, muscular fatigue, accuracy, or aspects of performance with little effect on procedure time. Those findings sound powerful because the stakes are high. Yet the review found wide variation in break definitions and outcomes, and judged most included studies to have a high risk of bias. Its conclusion was deliberately cautious. Existing evidence could not establish with confidence that intrawork breaks improve doctors' well-being or performance. So what should a normal desk worker do? Match the break to the resource that is fading. If your body is stiff, change posture and move. If your eyes feel locked at one distance, look away. If your mind is saturated by one task, switch context briefly or step into a quieter space. Avoid turning a break into another high-friction feed that competes for attention. The studies pooled many activities, so there is no single proven choreography. The practical value is interrupting continuous demand and checking whether fatigue stops climbing. A useful experiment is simple. Choose one recurring cue, finishing a work block, sending a meeting invite, or noticing shoulder tension. Take 60 to 120 seconds away from the task. Stand, breathe normally, move through a comfortable range, and look farther away. Then rate fatigue from 0 to 10 before and after. Keep the test for a week. If the break helps energy but not output, it is still doing what the strongest evidence predicts. For very demanding tasks, schedule a genuinely longer recovery period instead of expecting a microbreak to do a full break's job. The evidence-based takeaway is not that 60 seconds turns you into a productivity machine. It is that tiny pauses can modestly improve vigor and fatigue, two outcomes that matter during a long workday. Overall performance did not reliably improve, and evidence in specialized medical settings carried important bias. Use microbreaks as a recovery tool, not a performance guarantee. If the task is cognitively brutal, the research gives you permission to stop pretending 1 minute is enough. Take the small break early, and the real break when the work actually demands it. One more distinction matters. Preventing fatigue from accumulating is not the same as repairing severe exhaustion after it arrives. Earlier, smaller pauses may be easier to use than waiting until attention and posture have collapsed. That timing question is practical, but the current literature does not yet identify one ideal interval for every kind of work.